Can you hear us? Tell me you can hear us. I hate when this happens. It takes a while before the chat catches up with the video stream. So I'm so glad you're here to tell us when these things happen. All right, I got a yes. I don't know if that's a yes to the sound or not. We're back. Excellent. See, it's a team effort.
It's a good thing you're a techie because you can fix stuff like that really fast.
I'm good with that. But you guys, you help me. You're all co-producers today, okay? And I'm going to make this so I can see it a little bit better. All right. As I was saying, take two. Well, welcome. And this time, this week, the last 4 weeks we did all of our own songs, all originals. This week we're doing all songs that we've recorded by other songwriters. And because we've recorded them, obviously they're among our favorite songs, but they also are songs that we have a personal connection to, either to the songwriter or the person who performed the song originally. And we'll tell you all about that because we know you love all the backstories. And we've moved on from good sound to, all right, excellent.
Good.
We're going to start with a picture. This is a picture from, I think, like 9 years ago of me and Nick Lowe backstage at the Birchmere.
Yeah.
And I love Nick Lowe, and we recorded one of his songs on our Songs of the Open Road album.
He's a great songwriter.
He's a great, and you know, we saw him play at the Clearwater festivals a few years ago. Just him and a big old J200 acoustic guitar solo, and he played all of his songs that he wrote that are so great. Some were hits, some should have been hits, and this one, if it wasn't a hit, it should have been. Anyway. Who asked for this one? Angie Hardy asked for this one. Angie in the we got a bunch of Midlands. In fact, the first two songs are going to be songs for our friends and in the Midlands of England. And this one goes out to Angie. This is Nick Lowe's Raging Eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I know a little girl lives over there. She looks so square, but for a pair of raging eyes, oh, she got raging eyes. But she ain't such a beauty, hardly a Juliet, but she can lure Romeo in to do his duty with those raging eyes, raging eyes. Yeah, she got raging eyes. Who wants to tell her raging eyes? Whoa, raging eyes, not this fella, raging eyes. Well, sometimes she's soft, sometimes she's scaly. Her mama said that even back when she was a baby, she had raging eyes, raging eyes. Keep it going. Woo! Yeah, she got raging eyes. Who wants to tell her raging eyes? No, no, raging eyes. Not this fella, raging eyes. Well, she can work those lights so they fiddle with the traffic. Sometimes she's mean like an M16 automatic. Oh, she got raging eyes. Yeah, she got raging eyes, raging eyes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Raging eyes. Yeah, don't you love it?
That's a good way to start out.
Yeah.
Just rocking out.
We're raging. All right, this next song is a song that we're going to send to Ilse and Martin. Oh, I have a picture of them too. Ilse and Martin in the Midlands. Hey, maybe Angie can look at this picture and see if she recognizes her neighbors, Ilse and Martin. There they are at the Kitchen Garden Cafe in Birmingham, England with us.
What a cool
there.
venue that is.
Ilse and Martin asked for this next song. And this is a song by our dear friend,
another dearly departed friend, John Stewart, wrote this one.
Yeah. I first met John. I got booked just opening for him up in, at the old Vienna up in Massachusetts. And I went out and I played my set, and I had never met John. And I went back in the dressing room, and he was sitting there with Dave Batty, his bass player. And John pointed at me, and in his stentorian voice, he said, "You are playing with us." I said, "Okay." And I learned all the songs in real time on the stage during the show. And that's just the way John was. He was a real poet.
And you did that a
He
lot.
was spontaneous.
So you did that a lot at the Birchmere. I know you did that. Just
yeah.
like jump up with folks and without any rehearsal and all that.
And I love playing with John Stewart.
He was the best. He was great. We did a lot of studio stuff with him. In fact, he and Buffy came to our home in Reston, Virginia, to record a track that we produced for them, and we recorded with John in Nashville. Just a great guy. Anyway, this is another song that we recorded on our Songs of the Open Road album. It's in D, right?
C.
I'm glad I asked. It's in the key of C.
That's close.
Called Jasmine. 2, 3, 4. And oh, here come those highways again. And oh, here I go. And oh, here comes I'll find you, my friend, where roses and canyons and night bloom and jasmine still grow. And oh, here come those songs once again. And oh, here I go. And oh, here comes that longing again, where roses and canyons and night bloom and jasmine still grow. A long time ago, I promised, you know, I'd find you, and so here I go. And oh, here come those sidewalks again. And oh, here I go. And oh, here come those long walks, my friend, where roses and canyons and night bloom and jasmine still grow. And oh, here come those highways again. Oh, here I go. And oh, here comes I'll find you, my friend, where roses and canyons and night bloom and jasmine, where roses and canyons and night bloom and jasmine still grow.
I love that song.
That's for Ilsa and Martin. Yeah. Love it.
I'm going to take a sip of my jasmine tea.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to sip coffee because coffee. All right. This next one is a relatively newly recorded song for us. This is a song that we recorded for an album that just came out in October that was produced by our friend Carla Olson. Remember her from the Textones? And it's Ladies Sing Lightfoot. It's a great compilation of all different female singers performing Gordon Lightfoot songs. And she asked me to pick out what song I wanted to record. And I picked this one. And Brian Lowe asked for this song. In fact, Brian, I think I'm recalling an email you sent me. I think you said that you grew up in Saskatchewan. Did I get that right? If I'm wrong, I please forgive me. But I think you mentioned that Gordon Lightfoot used to play this quite a bit, and
This was a hit in Australia too.
for Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a hit in the house here. We love this song. Ready?
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's got a Buddy Holly thing going on.
Yeah. It's a country rocker.
This is Cotton Jenny. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, I'm in the wrong key again. What is it with me and keys? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. There's a house on a hill by a worn down, weathered old mill in the valley below where the river winds. There's no such thing as bad times and a soft southern flame. Oh, Cotton Jenny's her name. She wakes me up when the sun goes down, and the wheels of love go round. Wheels of love go round. Love go round. Love go round. A joyful sound. I ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round. When the new day begins, I go down to the cotton gin and I make my time worthwhile to them. And I climb back up again, and she waits by the door. Oh, Cotton Jenny, I'm sore, and she rubs my feet when the sun goes down, and the wheels of love go round. Wheels of love go round. Love go round. Love go round. Joyful sound. I ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round. Woo! Come on, feet. In the hot, sickly south, when they say, oh, I'll shut my mouth, I can never be free from the cotton grind. But I know I got what's mine, little soft southern flame. Oh, Cotton Jenny's her name. She wakes me up when the sun goes down, and the wheels of love go round. Wheels of love go round. Love go round. Love go round. A joyful sound. I ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round. Wheels go round. The wheels go round. The wheels go round. Yeah.
That's such a good song.
Isn't that fun?
I opened up for Gordon at, well, the first time I saw him was in Rock Creek Park. He was an unknown opening act for Peter Paul and Mary, and was great. And my friends and I knew about him, but the audience didn't. And he was great.
Wow.
And then a few years later, I was playing in Charlie Bird and I were doing a duo, playing acoustic guitars, and and we opened for Gordon at Meriwether Post Pavilion.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I guess he still performs.
Yep.
Too nowadays.
Speaking of Charlie Bird, I bet you were playing this guitar when you played with Charlie Bird. This is a classical guitar you're playing today.
Yeah, someone's going to ask what brand it is, and so I'll answer preemptively. I don't know.
I thought it was
Because I bought this. This isn't the Spanish Ramirez,
Oh, that's-
which I do have over here. That was one of my first guitars. I've had that
Yeah.
for so many years. But this I just bought this year at a flea market
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
for $90. Yeah, I don't even know what kind it is. But
Pete Kennedy can make a
Sounds good.
$90 guitar sound like
sounds great.
$1,000,000. Like anyone can do that, right? All right, we're gonna do a song now. Jim Hoffman's been asking for this, so we want to send this to Jim. I know the song means an awful lot to Jim. And Paula Panzer also said any song you can do by Dave Carter would be good. So, so we put those two requests together. And Dave Carter was a good friend of ours. We shared the stage with Dave and Tracy a few times, and just a really wonderful soul Dave was. And in fact, the last time we did a gig with him, he was talking about putting a band together.
Psychedelic folk band.
Yeah, that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he was like a mystic shaman.
He totally
kind of guy,
was.
but just such a great guy too.
Yeah.
Not serious about it.
And this song is very Jungian. I think it's there's characters in the song that I think reflect the different aspects of the one person.
Yeah.
The creative, and then the sort of the right brain and the left brain, I think, are the characters in this song.
It's
you
what
could say.
could all be happening within one person.
That's our interpretation of it anyway. Anyway, this song is called Gypsy Rose. No. Yes, it is. 1, 2, 3. My love is like a gypsy rose. Wild is the only way she grows. Out where the sweet July wind blows, she blooms over yonder. Her voice is like a mountain stream, washes me clear, washes me clean. I walk along the bank serene, where she will wander. There is no hill high as the moon, no river deeper than the sea, no shooting star, reckless of flight, burns in the night. Wild is the love she gave to me. Only the rain knows where she goes. Thunder and me, rambling with my gypsy rose. And on the day that we were wed, up to the altar she was led, lay like a prisoner in my bed. Oh, how she shivered. So I built a house to keep her in, guarded her from the sun and wind. But in the autumn she grew thin, by winter she withered. There is no hill high as the moon, no river deeper than the sea, no shooting star, reckless in flight, burns in the night. Wild is the love she gave to me. Only the rain knows where she goes. Thunder and me, rambling with my gypsy rose. My love was buried in the spring. I see her face in blossoming things. One night I thought I heard her sing down in the hollow.
calls to me. And for as long as I will be, well, I know I'll follow. There is no hill high as the moon, no river deeper than the sea, no shooting star reckless in flight burns in the night. Wild is the love she gave to me. Only the rain knows where she goes. Thunder and me, rambling with my gypsy rose.
Dave Carter songs.
Allegorical song.
Yeah. We're going to do a song that Robert Broughton asked for this one. And he actually, he sent me a message and he said, I bought a 55-inch TV screen 2 weeks ago. My cats showed little interest in it until this afternoon. I think that the motion of your strumming caught Aranita's attention. Oh, I have a photo somewhere of Aranita, but I can't find it.
She's a guitar fan.
We'll play it. We'll put the photo up next week. Yeah. Aranita, the little cat. She likes the. So this is for Aranita right now.
This is for you, Aranita. Go cat, go. Go cat, go.
Anyway, Robert Broughton asked for this song. It's a song that we know and you know from Glen Campbell, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite pictures of all time. That's us with Glen. Isn't that a great picture? We did a show. It was the Ann Arbor Folk Festival.
Yeah.
And Glen Campbell was the headliner, and Emmylou Harris played on that bill. And we were at the beginning of the bill with Nancy Griffith. Mm-hmm. And we did our set, and then we went into the wings and we watched every bit of Emmylou's show. In fact, she had us come out and sing with her, which was a thrill. And then after she was done, her whole band and all of us were on the side, and we all were glued to Glen Campbell. He was such a sweet guy, and his family were so nurturing for him because he was already in the throes of Alzheimer's.
It was his last tour, one of the last shows that he played.
Yeah,
he could still play guitar great too.
Yes, he could.
And he was just like you would think. He was like the character in his songs.
Yeah,
kind of happy-go-lucky cowboy kind of guy. That's what he was like.
Well, we're going to do this song. This is one that Jimmy Webb wrote for Glen Campbell, and it's another one that we recorded on our 500,000 Miles album.
And it's a soldier riding home, right?
It's a very young soldier riding home. And I always thought of this song, well, I never really considered the deeper meaning of the song until we recorded it. And, you know, when you record a song, you really get into it. And I recall thinking, wow, this is a very, it's almost a subliminal anti-war song, because the whole point of the song is that this boy is so young, and he's overseas in the middle of a war, but he just is homesick. He's even more homesick for home than he is for his girlfriend. He's just a homesick young man at war. And this is called Galveston. 2, 3.
Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea waves blowing. I still see her dark eyes glowing. She was 21, I left Galveston. Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea waves crashing, while I watch the cannons flashing. I clean my gun, dream of Galveston. I still see her standing by the water, standing there looking out to sea. And is she waiting there for me?
dry the tears she's crying. Before I watch your seabirds flying in the sun at Galveston, at Galveston.
I love that solo that Glenn plays at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
that with the low baritone
Yeah.
guitar down the low strings, and he does it in Wichita Lineman
Mm-hmm.
too. You know, Jimmy Webb said that he wrote. Yeah, I don't know if you ever took a songwriting class where you're assigned like some of our viewers probably have. You're assigned a theme, you know, write a song about this or that. And Jimmy Webb had written By the Time I Get to Phoenix. And Glenn's producer called him up and he said, you know, we did so well with that. Write another
Place.
song about a city. Imagine getting an assignment and then writing that song.
And then
And
Wichita
then next
Lineman.
was, let's do another one. Another city, right? Wichita Lineman. To come up with these classic songs, just when someone asks, you know, they just throw one word out there. I'll write about a city.
And it's not about the city; it's about the character in that city.
And Wichita Lineman is
and
too.
Wichita Lineman. I mean, you wouldn't have that same character in, say, New York City. It's a small,
It's regional.
big, wide open county kind of song.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And he said with both of those songs, it's like you can imagine a character, but you would really have to dig deeper to feel what they are feeling. It's
Yeah.
like a guy working up on a lineman or a soldier in the jungle. You know, what are they actually? What's in their heart? And Jimmy Webb is really great at that.
yeah. Well, we have a lot of relatively new viewers who found our weekly live stream when after Nancy Griffith died, and we did an impromptu tribute to her a couple days after she passed away, and it's a hard, that was a hard loss for us. We were very good friends with her, and so we're going to do a Nancy song, and this is one that of all the songs we've played with her and all the songs on her albums, I think this is probably her most autobiographical song, I could say. She traveled all the time. She stayed in big, beautiful, grand hotels, but she was often very lonesome on the road. And I think this song reflects that.
Yeah, I think it's about the price that it's paid for freedom. for
That's
that-
right.
That freedom.
Yes. This is Late Night Grand Hotel. 2, 3, 4. Working on a morning flight to anywhere but here. Watching this evening's fire burn away my tears. And all my life I've left my troubles by the door. 'Cause leaving is all I've ever known before. It's not the way you hold me when the sun goes down. It's not the way you call my name that left me stranded on the ground. It's not the way you say you hear my heart when the music ends. I am just learning how to fly away again. It's not the way you say you hear my heart when the music ends. I am just learning how to fly away again. Maybe you were thinking that you thought you knew me well. No one ever knows the heart of anyone else.
light garbo in this late night grand hotel. 'Cause living alone is all I've ever done well. It's not the way you hold me when the sun goes down. It's not the way you call my name that left me stranded on the ground. It's not the way you say you hear my heart when the music ends. I am just learning how to fly away again. It's not the way you hold me when the sun goes down. No, it's not the way you call my name that left me stranded on the ground. No, it's not the way you say you hear my heart when the music ends. No, I am just learning how to fly away again. It's not the way you say you hear my heart when the music ends. No, I am just learning how to fly away again. Nancy Griffith song, great song. We're gonna tie a little thread together because this next song we're gonna do, also on our Songs of the Open Road album, is Graham Parsons and Chris Hillman co-wrote this one. Yes,
Yeah.
a Graham Parsons, Chris Hillman song. And the connection there is that when we were on the road with Nancy, a lot of the times, our road manager was the famous road mangler, who was Graham Parsons' road manager back in the day and best friend. And we got lots of great stories from Mangler, Phil Kaufman, and had great times with him on the road. And I know he's at home in Nashville and has been for the past couple of years off the road. But I always think of him when we do this song.
We actually sang it at a sound check in Scotland, I think, one time as a trio.
Yeah.
With the Mangler
Phil came out.
booming in the third harmony part.
We sang that. We sang Wheels with him too.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is I think this might be the only waltz of the day. So if you're in a waltzing mood, now's the time. Sin City. This old town's filled with sin. It'll swallow you in if you've got some money to burn. Take it home right away. You got 3 years to pay, but Satan is waiting his turn. This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. Seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. Scientists say it'll all wash away, but we don't believe anymore. 'Cause we got our recruits and our green mohair but he trusted his crowd. So he spoke right out loud, and they lost the best friend they had. So earthquakes gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, a gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. On the 31st floor, a gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain.
That song has so much in it.
Yeah.
Very what's the word? It's like they're reading the future.
Yeah.
You know?
It's apocalyptic.
It is definitely.
And I think if you like that Burrito Brothers kind of sound, go back and check out the Louvin Brothers. Because like that song is, to me, is an updated Louvin Brothers song.
What's like
'Cause the Louvin Brothers were also very apocalyptic. They were always about the second coming and the Judgment Day and stuff. And Graham and Chris kind of converted that into modern things that people are
Yeah.
concerned about, an autocratic society and nuclear power and the environment. They got all that into that song.
It reminds me of the Louvin Brothers song, "The Great Atomic Power." You know
Yeah,
that one?
yeah. And that
We
Chris
should do that
has
someday.
said that that's what they were listening to at that time when they were singing as a duo,
Yeah.
Graham and Chris, that Louvin Brothers stuff.
Well, I think for this show, the vast majority of the songs that we're playing on this show are from our Songs of the Open Road album. And I should just remind you, because it's the holiday season and all that, that if you go on our website, which is kennedysmusic.com, you'll find a link to our CD ordering thing. And you can find all of our records that are still in print there. And there's there's a link to our newsletter too. And in the newsletter, you can get links to the albums that are out of print but still available as a download. But one of our albums isn't available in either sense. But if you get anything from our website, you'll get a free copy. It's a download of the 500,000 Miles album. And it's also a sticker.
You can put that on your guitar case.
And I know Elliot,
already
our friend
happened.
Elliot, has already put his on his guitar, on his mandolin case.
Yep.
So you still have time. We ship these CD and book orders out as soon as we get them in, so you can get them in your hands by holiday giving time. All right, enough of that. What are we doing next? Oh, okay. So who asked for this? Joanne Corsound. I think every week we do one of Joanne's
I
requests.
know, she's got good taste in
Great
music.
request. And this is one that we recorded this on I think it's on our West album.
West.
And it was written by our friend John Wicks from The Records. Remember him? Remember Starry Eyes?
Starry Eyes.
Great songwriter, power pop kind of songwriter. And he wrote, we met him in the early 90s. He moved to the Washington, D.C. area. He's from England originally. But he was living in the D.C. area, and he kind of got in with the in crowd of power pop music lovers. I know Robbie White's one of them. I think Robbie's the one that maybe Robbie introduced us to John.
Could be, yeah.
I can't remember. But anyway, here's a picture of us with John and Valerie Bliss, his woman. And John is no longer with us, but what a great guy he was. And he wrote this great song for us and about us, which, how generous is that?
So it's not exactly a cover song because it's never been done by anybody else.
But he wrote
it. was
it.
custom
That's
written
right.
just for us.
Custom
Yeah.
written for us. So
I love this song.
we're gonna do this one, and Joanne asked for it, as I said, and this is in the key of.
D.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Windows.
Doing windmills.
Say it's a high ideal. Well, they got a perfect
That's for Joanne, and it's for John Wicks.
Good windmills there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's time, between those chords. I could do it. It's kind of lame to do a windmill while you're seated, I will admit, especially when your hand goes up off the screen. Someday we'll get out
Windmills
there.
are made for arena rock.
And you have to have like a wide stance,
Yeah.
Anyway, we think about these things. you know.
Yeah. The choreography of it all.
So Bill Klein asked for the next song. And this is a song that was written by Victoria Williams. But we learned it. This is our connection. I told you in the beginning of the show that all these songs have a connection. And we learned this song from Matthew Sweet, who we opened for at the City Winery.
That's right.
But we learned it from him long before that. There was an album that he covered. It was a compilation album, and he covered this song. And I just loved his version of it. And, of course, we recorded it on our Songs of the Open Road album. And it's just a beautiful song. It's a meditation, really. And it's a perfect song to go to when you're just stressed out and you just want to calm your mind, quiet your mind, and live in and just be in the moment.
It's a centering song.
Very much so. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, because this song will do it for you.
Hey.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3. This moment will never come again. I know it because it has never been before. I listen to the rain outside my door. A thousand voices singing songs that ain't been sung before. Some days I lie still in reverie. I find the very hours have slipped away from me. As the sunlight dances through the leaves, patterns they awaken me, and I say, hey, hey now. Oh, this moment will never come again. I know it because it has never been before. I listen to the rain outside my door. A thousand voices That's for Bill Klein.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful song. I just imagine Victoria out in the desert where she lives.
Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree.
Yeah. Remember the
Just
last time?
evokes that.
And the last time we were out there, it's a desert. Do you remember the last time we were out there? What happened? It rained, which out there that's a big deal. And the most amazing thing happened. I've never seen a real Roadrunner before. The cartoons. All these Roadrunners came out from the rocks, and they're like pecking at the water on the dirt, on the sand, and the
I think the
soil.
the
bugs must
bugs
have come.
came up, and the Roadrunners
Getting chills.
taking full advantage.
They look just like the cartoons.
It took over the whole town. It was Roadrunners.
It was
everywhere.
great.
It was really fun.
All right. John and Lou Martucci asked for this one, and Jill Seagraves always asks for this one, although she didn't this particular week, but we're going to send it to her too anyway.
It's a good one for Jill.
This is a song by Nerissa Nields that we recorded on our Stand album, also known as the Yellow Album. The Beatles have the White Album, we have the Yellow Album. Anyway, this is for all of you too, because you're all, to us, very easy people. 2, 3, 4.
We sat around the table and we drank a bottle of wine, and it flowed around us like a moat till nothing could touch us. And I was fine, and I said, haven't I paid my dues by now? Haven't I paid my dues by now? Haven't I paid my dues by now? Don't I get the right to choose? I choose you to take up all of my time. I choose you because you're funny and kind. I want easy people from now on. Easy people, easy people. My house is full of empty rooms and broken frames and other people's stuff. In my house we see by Christmas lights and your TV. Hey, that seems to be enough to see what we want to see. Let me be whoever I want to be, and I'll be easy people from now on. Easy people, easy people, why can't I be easy? Why can't I be easy like you? To you I would give the songs I write, the words I pray, and the morning light pumps into my room each day. You would only rise, I would hear you say, I want you,
Take up all of my time.
baby, I want you.
Funny
Oh
and
yeah,
kind.
I'll be easy people from now on. Easy
I love that song so much because it reminds me of a time in Western Massachusetts
Yeah.
when we went over to Nerissa's house and we sat around a table on the porch and we drank a bottle of wine. And then not long afterwards, we heard this song and we asked Nerissa if we could record it on our album because it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like an audio postcard of that day. And it was a beautiful day. It was just a really wonderful, warm day with friends on a nice big porch. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Hanging out on a porch with your friends.
This next song you taught me over in London.
In the back of Nancy's bus.
Yeah.
In the back lounge of Nancy's bus.
I didn't really, when we got together, I didn't really know Richard and Linda Thompson's music all that
You
well.
knew-
I knew about it, but I had never learned any of the songs or anything like
You knew more of American folk music, and
Yeah.
I was really into the British folk, and so I knew all this. I knew all the Richard Thompson, Fairport, Steel Ice Band, that whole Sandy Denny, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And I taught you this in the back lounge of Nancy's bus, and I remember Nancy came back. We'd been playing it for a while, and she said, "I used to sing this song way back when I played at the Hole in the Wall."
She started doing it again.
Then she
didn't
started
Yeah.
playing it again. She recorded it on her Trip Back to Bountiful album.
Oh, yeah.
After that tour. So
It's a great song. It's not about death, it's about life.
it's about life.
It's about
And,
living life every day.
and since I taught it to Pete on that tour, this is before we had really started putting a show together. We didn't really, we started writing songs, but we worked this into our repertoire early on. And so it appears it's one of the 2 covers on our first album.
And it's about an amusement park ride.
Yes, living life to the fullest. This is The Wall of Death. 2, 3.
Let me write on the wall of death one more time. Let me write on the wall of death one more time. You can waste your time on the other rides, but this is the nearest to being alive. Oh, let me take my chances on the wall of death. You can go with the crazy people and the crooked hearts. You can fly away on the rocket or spin in the miles. The tunnel of love might amuse you, and Noah's Ark might confuse you, but let me take my chances on the wall of death. On the wall of death, all the world is far from me. On the wall of death, it's the nearest to being free. Oh, you're going nowhere when you ride on the carousel. And maybe you're strong, but what's the good of ringing the bell? The switchback will make it crazy. Beware of the bearded lady. Oh,
That's the fast version.
That was such a pivotal song for us
fast.
because we did it just because we liked it on River Fallen Stars. And right when the album came out, the phone rang, and we were living down in Virginia, and it was Alan Pepper from the Bottom Line, which is like the ultimate place to play for a singer-songwriter at the time. And he said, I heard Vin Scelsa play your version of Wall of Death, and I loved it, and I want you to come and play at the club it's at the first opportunity. And so that song was just it was such a break for us. We weren't even thinking that when we recorded it. It was just, we loved
Just
this song.
the song that we loved, yeah. And we send that one out. Dan Unger asked for that, and Vicki Davis asked for that too. Vicki is going to watch in the reruns because she's actually on the
she have a
road
gig?
today. She said she's on the road today.
Oh,
She probably has a gig.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a rocker.
We're going to do one more song for you. And before we do, we want to tell you about next week. First of all, we have to tell you, we planned a southern tour so that we could do outdoor gigs. This is before the latest strain of the Omicron strain has come up. So we've got a bunch, I think we got 9 gigs on the books in North Carolina and in Florida. Of course, this is in January, and of course, this is all subject to, what happens with the virus. So if you want to find the date, tour dates, go to our website, kennedysmusic.com, and you'll see a link for tour dates there. And then you want to check back. Like if you're planning on going to any of these shows, you want to check back when it gets closer just to make sure that it's still on, because we don't want to put people at risk. Of course, all of our shows are going to be vaccine required and mask, even though it's outdoors. Masks if you're not able to socially distance. So we're going to try and keep everybody safe. So check on our website for that.
And we'll still be doing this too from the road.
We're going to, we're going to be gone for 4 weeks. So I think we're even going to do a beach party on the beach. That's the plan at one of our Sunday shows. So because so many people have asked us to please keep these shows going, because I know a lot of people, well, you're not in Florida. We have people all over the world. And so many of you have told us that you really rely on these Sunday shows. It's become part of your routine.
I think Ricky 12 in Sweden would like to see a outdoor Florida show.
Come on, Ricky, fly over.
Yeah.
So next week we are going to do part 2 of this. We're going to do more cover songs by songwriters, other songwriters that are songs that we've recorded, because we got so many requests that we couldn't get to today. So we're going to do part 2 next week. And so join us. And in the meantime, we're going to do one more song. This is a song that we recorded on our latest album. Let me tell you the little backstory about this, because it's a fun one. So most summers, not the last 2, but most summers we go up to teach a week at a music camp, a whole week in New Hampshire. And one particular year, I was teaching a harmony course. And there was one of the campgoers said, I studied Motown choreography. So if you pick a song that's a Motown song, I could teach the whole class the choreography, and we can do it at the student concert at the end of the week. And so, now I don't think this song was technically a Motown song.
No, but she had been a Motown artist.
And there definitely were dance moves that went along
genre.
with it. So I taught the class all the parts, the Pips parts, to Midnight Train to Georgia. And she taught the whole class all the woohoo, all the dance moves, everything. So we put that on at the end of the week, and it was really fun. Anyway, so to get ready for teaching the class, I had to figure out all the harmony parts. So I wrote them out, and just to make sure it all was right, I recorded them, multi-tracked them. So it was my vocal singing the lead, and then 3 parts that were the Pips parts. And I did that just as a, class prep. So fast forward a few years, and we needed one more song for our last album. And, every time we get an idea for a song, we'll do a little tape recording of it. So Pete was going through all these tapes, and he came out of the studio one day and said, I think we got the song. And it was my work tape for Midnight Train, which you had recorded all the instrumental parts on, and I'd done all the vocals. And I said, we can't put that on an album, can we? It was just like he goes, well, listen to it. It sounds good.
Yeah.
So we put it on the record, and it is one of my favorite songs in the world to sing. It's so fun.
And I had played this with Gladys Knight.
You had.
At the Kennedy Center years ago. And but it was just Gladys. The Pips were not there.
Oh.
So I considered volunteering to be the Pips, but I discretion is the better part of valor. I decided not to.
Well, you all get to be Pips right now, so
We
get
can do
on
it
up
today.
and get your your woo woo muscles going. This is the Midnight Train to Georgia. 3, 4. LA proved too much for the man, too much for the man. He couldn't make it, so he's leaving the life he's come to know. He said he's going back to find, what's left of his world he left behind not so long ago. He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia, and on a midnight train. He said he's going back to find, to a simpler place and time.
Takes that right.
I'll be with him. I know you will. On that midnight train to Georgia. On the midnight train to Georgia. Woo-hoo. Rather live in his world than live without him in mind. He was dreaming, oh, someday he'd be a star, a superstar, but he didn't get there. But he sure found out the hard way. Dreams don't always come true. So he pawned all his hopes, and he even sold his old car. Bought a one-way ticket back to the life he once knew. Oh, yes, he did. He said he would. Oh, he's leaving that midnight train to Georgia, on a midnight train. He said he's going back to find, to a simpler place and time. I'll be with him. I know you will. On that midnight train to Georgia. On the midnight train to Georgia. Woo-hoo. Rather live in his world than live without him in mind. Ooh, he's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia, on a midnight train. Go. He said he's going back to find, to a simpler place and time. I've got to be with him. I know you will. On that midnight train to Georgia. Rather live in his world than live without him in mind. Ooh, for love, I'm gonna board the midnight train and go for love. I'm gonna board the midnight train and go for love. I'm gonna board midnight train and go for love. I'm gonna board midnight train and go. My world, his world, our world, mine and his alone. My world, his world, our world, mine and his alone. I got to go, I got to go, I got to go. Hey, I got to go, I got train and go. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
We're gonna
Love
board
you.
the midnight train and go.
We're going to board that midnight train and go. Happy Hanukkah. We got one more day of Hanukkah.
Yep.
And we'll see you right here next week. Another week of our favorite songs by other writers. Take care.